This is Cosmic Kitsuname, and I'm here to talk about Path to Nowhere, a new mobile game that came out not too long ago. Now the reason I'm also making this is because I couldn't really find too many videos talking about the features of the game, and I mostly just found tier lists. And I'll talk about that in a bit and the characters. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the draws. I like this game because it is pretty generous with what you draw, and usually I'm not a huge fan of gacha games, but rather I'm very selective. I currently only play 3, so I hop back between this and a few others. But this has been my favorite so far because I like the art style and really love the music. They could just sell a whole playlist of this. Okay, so going to this right here, I've got an opportunity to use every character as well as look at some tier lists. I don't even use these two to draw from. I just use this one to do all my draws. I'm not saying that these are any worse, but I did not like Summer, the character, because frankly there's just other characters that do that job way better, and they're not even S rank. Zoya is pretty decent. If you're lucky enough to draw her, I just say keep her. Langley, I highly recommend. But what I like about this game is all the characters are viable depending on what type of team you want to make. So going to currency, you have different types of currency here. Your stamina is honestly the most important thing because it helps you level up. And one of the mistakes that quite a few people make is using their stamina to farm materials. There are other ways to get materials, such as dispatch or outright buying them or joining an alliance and gaining these little token things to get them. So you should not be wasting your stamina on anything that isn't story related or helping you level up, or if you just absolutely need something to level up your character or the skills or something like that. And this is why you need this right here along with the red blood crystals or something like that. Now these cubes you can also use to draw characters. When you first start the game, I suggest using it at least twice, because you can also use this from the to acquire the stuff from the shop here. And this is one event that's going on. If someone wants to pay almost $20. It's a pretty nice outfit, but yeah, as I was saying, for almost $21. And this isn't really a thing that you have to do, it's just if you want extra stuff, because every time you either accomplish a task or get something, these are two different bars to give you something. So one's a paid bar, the other one's just part of the game. And here you can use your cubes, see, to get stuff that way. Here are the accomplishments here. And so this right here is what I want to get into. You don't have to be a paid player to enjoy the game or even win a lot. And if I were to recommend buying any of these, it would just be either this one or this one, if you must. First charge is double. And with this alone, you should have enough to acquire both of these. Correct. You will have enough to acquire both of these. As you can see, there's multiple different ways to acquire components, or materials, and these little mana essence things. Every time you draw a set of characters, you get these. See right here, you can get Zoya and some of these to help with your marks or shackles. Now, the more you level up, the easier things get, but also the more rare materials you're going to need. See, so there's multiple different ways to go about this. You can even get points from just adding a bunch of friends and sending stuff. So going back. Whoops. Okay, you can find your items here. Consumables. Crime bands, I'm still a bit unsure how they're supposed to work, but I know they're important. And then you have your marks. Now this, okay, there was no clear explanation with this. Or at least I wasn't able to really pick up on this quickly. You get this from being an idol, which you use to then power up your facility, which then in turn gives you passive, well, you get items just for being passive, like for example this. About 15 minutes, the management center will level up, which means you can bring your other stuff up another level, like the training room, all other stuff right here. The game isn't overwhelming, it's just not the best at explaining stuff. Hence the video. But you need mana essence and this in order to level up your characters. Also, it should go without saying, but don't sleep on this. And yes, you do need to connect these in order to get the benefit from that. So collect that often. This right here. Your character gains abilities as the story continues, and you're able to level up these skills. Ideally, whatever you decide to level up, make sure you actually use it. You can reset, but yeah, it'd be a waste. I don't want to waste that to reset, so be sure about what you want to level up. And make sure it falls in line with your playstyle or your team. I like this ability a lot. Okay, now on to the centers here. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I am going to explain why I use this team. You got your mage, your archer, your healer, your front line, your assassin, and your tank. Now with this character, I like this character because even though it doesn't attack, it heals. And to make up for the lack of extra attack or person seemingly missing because of that, there's this character right here. Her ultimate summons a cat or a panther or something, a large cat, that can also be moved around, so you can block up to 3 people, 2 from the cat, 1 from her, which makes her a very good tank. The only other tank that's better than her is Demon. So this lineup works well for me. And you can get this just from going through story. This helps you level up your ability for your character, or the main character. Then we have the friend list. So with this, you send, receive, and you can even use a character as someone else's character to assist you in battle, which is very helpful. This is just news here. And you can get more stamina and more of this in the game if you play right, or just go through the game. Just don't be so quick to blow through your currency on materials, because you're gonna need a lot of that later. Then there's this right here.
The purest admiration for art in the audience and the utter beauty in the world to interpret. I do not feel lonely.
Oh yeah, alliances. Let me explain that while I'm here. It doesn't really cost much to donate, or at least I haven't had any issues with that, so you should donate every day anyway. It helps the alliance grow, and then you get really cool stuff. Well, here's where you request for item. You get really cool stuff that you can, once again exchange. So, oh yeah, there's this you get by just logging in. And then there's just the event. If you didn't draw this character, then you can still get the character. I've had to say that quite a few times to friends who were upset they didn't draw the character first time around. Don't waste your cubes constantly trying to get this character. Just go through the story and the event and you'll get it naturally, unless you just really want that shackle. Speaking of shackles, let me explain this. For every copy you get of your character, you can improve the stats essentially, until ultimately they're just fully maxed out. This is where the A's and B's come into play. It's easier to max them out than it is just the S rank ones. And they're still very viable, so you don't need a team of S to enjoy the game, as I stated earlier. You will need this skill module, as well as whatever component here to do that. And promoting, you have to go promote them to different phases. So it's not just a straight run through when you're leveling up these characters. So yes, that's do believe that's everything. Oh yes. Also, there's this little thing where you can talk to your characters and they give you stuff too, which is pretty cool. And then there's the bureau here. This is dispatch that I was mentioning. And you can get stamina from here too. Now you can even play your music here. I thought this was a very nice feature, having that record player. Go to your archives. You can also get points just by unlocking character. You get hypercubes. There's teams apparently for this kind of thing, like just hierarchies or something. I thought that was a nice touch, and I really liked the story. Interrogation is really just picking the right answer, but also you learn more about the characters. And I don't know if there's more than this, but definitely worth doing. But you have to either gather evidence via story or just, outright buy it. And there's a type of currency for that too. Alright, so I'd like to thank everyone that's watched my video, and they take care and enjoy the rest of this. Peace.
Don't tell anyone about this price. Managing the inventory is so tiring. Want to pick some goods to reduce my workload, Chief? Hold on, let me have some water. Let's have a chat when you're free, Chief. Any new gossip I don't know about?